The social security objection, can you explain what was the difference between that older lead and then the newer? Like, what did you say to overcome that person? I'm just intrigued to know.
It's funny, man, because it was like I think you could sell more by talking less. Okay,
Mm,
you sell
okay.
more by talking less. So I think the previous time I asked him, so what's your social? I framed it, but I asked him, and he gave me the objection. Oh man, I don't want to get my social security. I can't trust you. And I was just talking. I think I was just talking too much, right? As this time, he gave me the exact same objection. I said, no, I get it, but hey, you know what? When it comes to all life insurance application, we're always going to need a social security number to verify who you are, your medical record as well. And I just shut up. And he was like, okay. And he just gave it to me at that point. And so here's something I do. Okay. So if you guys have never heard of this, it's called crank wheel. Crank wheel, CRANKHEEL, right? What you could do is basically send them a link and they can actually see your screen. Okay. And I say probably like when the first, my beginning of last year to maybe about fall, I used a lot of crank wheel to help me overcome objection when it comes to social and banking. Okay. I know with mortgage protection, I don't have to use that. Okay, guys. Like I don't have, I just asked them like, hey, do you want to see my screen as I go through the application, or do you want me to go ahead and just do it all over the phone? 9 out of 10, they just say, do all over the phone. I trust you. Literally. Okay. And so like literally like, I mean, Crank will let them see your screen and so forth. But again, like when they say I trust you, just go through application, you go through application, it's so smooth. Okay. Because you have that trust in a day. And when it comes to sales, it's all about not just about you being an expert because that's how they buy you, that's how you get them in the beginning, but that trust is a big factor for them moving forward with you at the end. Yeah.
Mhm.
But that was it, man. It was like I guess it was just maybe more of a confident thing. Again, I just talked less the second time and I was able to go ahead and get his social security at that point.
I know I've been taking up a lot of time, but I want to
You're
kind of
good,
wrap
man.
up with this. Can you talk a little bit about your experience working with us, the team, the community? Because a lot of people come and they're like, hey, what is it like working with Agent Lead Lab? So in your experience, what has it been, working with us, or how's that
Yeah.
experience been thus far?
So here's one thing, I share this with everybody. Everyone expects when you get a lead source, they're like, oh man, I'm going to convert like 99% of all my lead source, okay, from the lead source. That's not the case, okay? Every lead source, you're going to have goods and bads, okay? So far, Trey has been really good. That's why I've been sticking with him, okay, guys? And so, one key thing I like to say is basically the fact that communication is key, right? Trey, one thing I love about Trey is the fact that he says hi to everybody on Discord. He likes everyone who posts stuff on there, like maybe a sale or just a message and so forth. Like he's always on there, basically, communicating and raising everybody's and praising everybody and so forth. His assistants and VAs and his staffs are amazing guys, right? They communicate. When you have questions, you ask them, they get back to you. Okay, like literally, I remember Faith. Like when I have questions about how do I set up this or how to do that, she gets back to me literally within 5 minutes, right? And so she's super cool, okay? And the fact that they're giving you metrics on like, hey, how you're performing, on a week to week base, which I think is very, very key, okay? But also at the exact same time, what you got to also be responsible for the results you get, okay? Trey's job is basically to get you the leads, right? Trey's job is he knows how to get really good leads and so forth. Now it's just up to you to convert it, okay? If you're missing the skill, then you got to invest the time to learn how to sell, okay? Which here's the reality of things, right? Most people they just don't do, right? Because they give themselves an excuse. It's too expensive for me to go ahead and buy a sales course or go through a sales course, whatever the case is. Whereas, you have to realize basically is what is that costing you in return by actually not going through it. Okay. However, when it comes to leads, you know what? The more leads you have, the better the result you're going to get as well. Okay. So, I mean, I invest literally about, $500 a week with you guys and so forth. My results been good. I'm looking to go ahead and get that to, 2 to 3 times as much as possible this year. So that way we can actually get better result as well.
If you were talking to a new agent who was starting with us at Agent Lead Lab, like what would you say to them? It's kind of like newer agent or even a seasoned agent who's like, hey, I want to work with Trey. I want to work with the team at Lead Lab. What should their expectations be and what does that look like? And you can wrap up with anything else that you want to say as well.
I'll say basically is treat it seriously. Okay. Because I think a lot of times rather season or because season agent, the thing about season agent, they're like, oh man, oh, I've done leads before. I got on this lead source before, right? Or new agents, they're like, oh, it's leads, it's leads. I'll buy some, I'll make a few calls. but the reality is basically you gotta take every lead seriously, right? Call them, try to get as much results as possible. Trey and the staff, the leads, like, again, the leads that they're getting for us is basically is like they're high intent type of people. Okay, there's a reason why when they say they saw the ad on Facebook or Instagram, they went on and click on it and they found their information, right? There's a big reason why. Okay, now it's basically up to you to go ahead and convert that into a sale, right? And at the exact same time, as you're taking this seriously, realize the fact that every interaction is going to be a new interaction. Every this is a human interaction, to say the least. Okay. And so, can things go right? Yes. Can things go wrong? Yes. Okay. But if you're doing this and you're taking it seriously, your results are going to start piling for you. Okay. One thing I would say this is something that's really changed my mindset the last probably like 90 days. And I think it's been helping me a lot when it comes to getting results, is that you got to step into the person that you ready. Let's say, for example, you're like, hey, I want to make $10,000 today. Okay. You have to wake up being that person. You have to step into that person, not pretending to be, or like what I say, was it fake it till you make it? You actually have to wake up being that person, right, before the day even begin to actually get that $10,000 result in a day. Okay.
Yep.
And Trey and the staff and all that and the team, they're here to help you guys. Okay. They're here to help you guys. Right. And so, confirm who you want to be that day, who you want to be when a year from now, and go out there and just work, guys. Just work.